Hi everyone, hope you're all well. I'm going to do a small class today involving a little bit more ab work today. Okay, so just be mindful if you've got any back injuries, please make sure that you don't do these classes unless you've seen a health professional, maybe a doctor, etc. Just in case you've got any underlying issues going on that some of these exercises are not suitable for you. And let's begin. We're going to start on our hands and knees. If you're not able to do that, can you come and lie on your back and do some pelvic circles on the floor for me? If you are okay on your knees but need a little bit of support, you can put a cushion underneath the knees. Okay, so let's come around onto hands and knees. You're going to check your posture first. You're going to place those hands underneath the shoulders and your knees underneath the hips. Checking you're not dipping the back too much into extension and dropping the ribs and losing that abdominal muscle connection. So just keep the back neutral, nor are you tucking the pelvis under. Okay, so let's start here. Slight rotation in those arms, so the front of the arms facing forwards. This is the side of your arm. And we're moving through your tailbone first. Heavy in the knees, shin bones and hands. So even weight. Tuck the tailbone, arch the back up towards the ceiling, just pulling those ab muscles in a little bit, just protect the back. Deep breath in, stop to move your sit bones and your tailbones away from you. And breathe in. Do it again, tailbone under, so moving the pelvis first. Arching the back, sending the ground away with the shins and the hands. And then tailbone lifts. And come back to neutral position. Let's do that 2 more times. Deep breath in, tailbone under, spine lengthens. See, I'm trying to get this length here in the lumbar. It's very easy to stretch into the thoracics, but we want to get into that lumbar. Last one for me, underneath. Okay, and then just drop that back down into a child's pose position, stretching the arms long. Just give that back a really good stretch. So very similar move, so if we come up to sit, very similar move to that exercise is the roll up. So we're going to put our feet on the front edge of your mat and your hands underneath the back of the thighs. Okay, and I'm going to imagine I'm drawing a line underneath me. So I'm going forwards as I tip my pelvis back and then draw a line backwards with the pelvis as I come back up to sit. So elbows wide, shoulder blades wide, deep breath in, start the movement of the tailbone, drawing the line forwards, arms are starting to lengthen, so are the legs, but the legs aren't actually moving. Pull up on the legs, elbows wide, and widen the collarbones as you sit up. Breathe in, tailbone back under, reach the legs long, sit up, and come back up. So if that's giving you any back pain, can you just bring yourself down onto the mat nice and slow, and just do some pelvic tilts back and forth with your head and your shoulders resting and your pelvis resting and your feet on the floor with bent knees. If you're a bit more advanced, let's take those arms out in front, scooping out through the belly and sitting back up. So just notice all the movement is coming from your pelvis, drawing the line forwards and draw that line back again. Deep breath in, find those abdominal muscles. And bring it back up. So I'm bringing my ribs downwards towards my belly button, my pubic bone up towards the belly button. 2 more like this. In breath and roll back. Out breath and sitting up. Last one, roll it all the way back this time, or use your hands under your thighs or hold one leg and gently return yourself onto your back. Now you could put a cushion underneath your head. At this stage, just to give you a little bit more support, we're going to have both your legs out straight and your arms down by your side. So just notice I haven't arched my back. Okay, that might mean that you need a little cushion underneath your head. I'm not going to use one because I prefer not to. So we're going to flex both the feet and then point the toes. And notice what happens when I flex my feet. Can you see how the back of my knees slightly lift up? Okay, so you want to flex the feet, but push down into the back of the legs. So into the heels, in through the back of the thigh bone so I can feel my hamstrings, and then I see if I can just get those glutes to fire up as well. So keep the right leg straight with a flexed foot. Point the toes on the left foot and slide the heel in, bending the knee. When you can't go any further, foot lifts up off the floor, Extend the left leg up to the ceiling, flex the foot, slowly lower it down. Now press really firmly into your right leg. Point the toes, slide it back in, extend the leg up, flex the foot, breathe out, lower, pressing into that right leg, point and slide it back in, extend and flex. I'm just checking my pelvis is staying level. Let's go for 2 more. In breath, extend, flex and out breath, pressing into the back of the right leg. Point and slide it in. Okay, we've got 1 more to go. In breath, slide it in, extend and press into the right leg. Lower the left leg all the way down, flex the foot, point the toes on the right foot, bend the knee in, extend the leg up, flex and lower. Point and slide it back in. Reach up. Now I'm really pressing into the back of my left leg. So if you've got some clicking going on in the hip, it could be you're not putting enough weight through the back of the left leg. I want those hip extensors, your glutes and your hamstrings to be working. Let's go for the last 2. Up, reach, flex and lower. In breath. So I'm just getting these abs to start kicking in as well. Out breath and lower all the way down, and just give those legs a rest. Shake them out. Bend the knees in. Place the feet on the floor. Now, if you have any neck issues, can you carry on with just a leg slide out and in without letting the leg come in contact with the floor if you want to make it harder, or maybe take it up into toe taps without arching the back. We're moving into chest lift. So we're going to link the fingers together, place them back around the back of the skull. Now remember, if you've done my classes before, we need to start with the elbows lifted and the shoulder blades lifted up off the floor. And I can feel my armpits slightly contracting here. Okay, if we're down here and squeezing your shoulder blades together, you'll end up using your neck too much. So elbows up, shoulders up, breathe in, move the feet slightly away. Let's curl forwards to look towards the knee. So my ribs at the front are sliding down towards the belly button. Elbows are pointing forwards, keep the shoulder blades separated. Lay the rib cage back down, but don't let those elbows drop. Breathe in, hold. And again, slide those ribs forwards. We use our stomach and not our neck to lift us up. And bring it back down. Now check that feels okay in your neck. If it doesn't, keep your head down and continue with what the exercises I showed at the beginning. Okay, curl up and hold. Reach those hands to the thighs this time. Curl your fingers around the thighs. Elbows wide as you pull yourself up a little bit higher. You see my shoulder blades are lifted up even more. Now keep them off the floor as you place your hands back to your head, widen the shoulders, and then bring it back down. So I want to create some space in between my shoulder blades. Breathing out, pull up higher. Hands to the head, in breath. Lower back down, out breath. So all the control is from my stomach muscles, not in my neck. And curl, hands to head, breath in. Let's go for 2 more after this. And lift. Reach and hold and pull up higher. Hands to the head, breathe out, lower. Now on this next one, we're changing and adding a left leg, okay? So if you've got your head down and it's too much in your neck, stay here and just extend the left leg out. Okay, breath in. Let's go into your chest lift. Pick up the left leg and stretch it away. Bend the knee, place the shoulders back down without pinching them. Place the foot on the floor. Right leg, stretch forwards. Pick up those shoulder blades up off the floor. Breathe in, hold. Breathe out to lower. Change legs. And down. Keep those shoulder blades apart. Elbows wide, but not too wide that you feel like you're pulling the shoulder blades together. Really feel what's happening in the back of those shoulders. Extend the leg, out breath. In breath to return. We've got 3 more. Curl. I know you're starting to feel this in those abs now. So be careful you're not using your neck. Out breath, extend. In breath, return. Last one on the right leg. And then bring those knees in, lower the head and hug the knees. Give a little circle of the back into the floor. Good, so that should have fired up those lower abdominal muscles. And we're moving into the next move. Let's circulate back the other way. Good. All right, so we're going to place the feet down onto the floor. And your hands are going to go onto your thigh bones for bridging. So notice I haven't got a head block. Okay, so you can move that out of the way with your cushion. So feet play a massive part of this. So it's a bit like getting out of a chair. This is what you're kind of teaching yourself in a way. So you're going to press your feet into the floor, and notice when you start to press into your feet, your thigh bones start to move away from you into this direction. They move out, the hips go up to the ceiling. You're going to feel those glutes and hamstrings wrap around underneath you. Just watch you're not dropping one hip and one is fired up and the other isn't. Okay, and then keep those hands on your thighs. Roll the rib cage down. Notice how the thigh bones are coming back towards you, but they're sliding back into the hip sockets. Okay, can you feel that? Okay, and the hands back on the thighs. Reach those thigh bones out away from you. Keep those shoulder blades resting on the floor so you're not hyperextending and going onto the neck. Deep breath in. Roll the rib cage back into the floor. Good. Feel those thigh bones drop into the socket. Feel the hamstrings and the glutes release. And let's do that again. Breathe in. Curling forward. Stand up into those feet. Reach the knees out away from the hips. Now we're going to hold this one here. Okay, so the back of the legs really working here. Both arms back. If you've got any shoulder impingements, you can go to here and down. Go up, drop them back, and then forward. So when I say shoulder impingements, that means if you've got any shoulder issues going on. Okay, so rotator cuff, something like that, might be causing you issue, or a slight tear, labral tear, maybe something like that. So just keep your arms small movement if you need to. So keep those hips up. Are you still pressing into those feet? Are you still sending those thigh bones forwards? Feeling the back of the legs. I can even feel the inner thighs working here. Okay, and then we add that last one. Coming back. Now, as we start to bring these arms back this time, can you start to roll your pelvis down? Okay, take a breath in. Tailbone lifts. Reach the knees forwards, arms come over. So that's your easy level. Okay, roll down once the arms down. Or we go up into our bridge. We take the arms back. So don't do this if you've got any neck issues. Arms go forwards, spine starts to roll down. And at that right moment, you're going to pick your head up and come into this position. Your head and shoulders lifted, raise the arms up. Roll the rib cage down. Once your head is on the floor, lift those hips up and drop the arms back. Breathe in. Arms to the ceiling. Roll the rib cage down. Little seesaw effect. As the hips lower, the rib cage lifts up. Shoulders away from the ears. Arms go up. Head and shoulders come back down. Hips raise up. Arms drop back. We'll do that one more time. Curling forwards. Lifting up. Holding it here for the hundreds. Your next level is one or both legs raised. Intermediate, advanced level, legs are straight out. Okay. If you need to come back a level, head down, feet down, it's up to you. Okay. I'm going to keep my head down. This pulse, breathing in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now keep going. What I want you to make sure is, if you've got your head up, you're not doing this, not wobbling. You've got to keep that same lift. Rib cage down. Okay, keep pulsing those arms. And blow. And sniff. And blow. And sniff. So you're really good for the lungs, especially at the moment. Really empty the lungs and fill up those lungs. If you need to keep your head down, keep it down. If you need to put one or both feet down, it's okay to let that happen. We've got the last 10. In, 2, 3, 4, 5. Out, 2, 3, 4, 5. And hold it there. Well done. Excellent. Bring those knees into your chest. Another little circle with those hips for me. Round one way and round the other way. Okay. So we're going to bring ourselves up to a seated position. So placing one foot down at a time, roll yourself to the left and come up to sit. Now when you're sitting up, can you bring your feet as wide as the mat. And I want you to imagine, you know when those gym balls, the big gym balls that you have, okay, we have some of them in the studio, but not that many. Okay, so put your hands on an imaginary big ball or a beach ball, okay, a very big one. And then start to reach the ball forward, push it away, lengthening out the lumbar spine. Deep breath in, and then roll the ball back towards you. And again, feel that the pelvis is moving backwards as your arms are moving forwards, or the chest is moving forwards. Be careful you're not doing this. Okay, dropping the head and reaching the arms out, or dropping the hands down here. Okay, so feel that you're parting your shoulder blades as you move forwards, and then you move back, sliding the scapula back down. 2 more. So this is your easy version, so please stay with that. Last one. So if you're staying with this one, don't straighten your legs. Heels are reaching towards the seat. Now squeeze those sit bones together. Notice how it lifts your spine more and reach the spine out. And yes, you can feel your hamstrings a little bit more. And I can see my knees are slightly bending, so I haven't warmed up enough. Deep breath in. Again, squeeze those glutes. Reach forwards, imaginary ball, push it forwards and bring it back. And you see my hands and my shoulders stay pretty much the same level every time I go forwards and backwards. There's not a lot of lift, and you can gauge it from this unit to the side here. Okay, last one, reach it out, roll it back this time. So be mindful with this one, don't go too far, or you can do a slight tilt to the pelvis and then come back up again, or hands under the thighs. If you're a bit more advanced, take it back more, tipping the pelvis, and sit back up. Point the toes slightly, reach it back, tip and come back up. Or you could flex the feet, or do one of each. Okay, so make sure that feels comfortable in your back. If it isn't, can you come down onto the floor and do some pelvic tilts back and forth for me, please, lying on your back. Right, it's going to make it a little bit harder. So we're going to roll it back. As you roll back, hold it, bring the left leg up, tap, down, sit back up. The right leg this time, so I'm quite wide with the legs. Lift and hold, right leg lift, tap, and forwards. And again, tuck, lift, tap, forwards. And also notice I'm sitting on the front edge of my mat. So in a moment, we're going to be taking it into the open leg rocker, or you could do a small rolling like a ball instead. Okay, so I'm going to shift myself a little bit further forwards, maybe watch for the first one, tuck under, hold, pick up the left leg, pick up the right leg, hold, rock back onto the shoulders, keep off the neck, catch the legs, sit up, do it again, in breath, catch the legs. And this is where you need to think about when you're doing the chest lift just now, drawing the ribs down towards the belly button and the pubic bone up towards the belly button. One more. And bring yourself back to sit. Well done. Now bending the knees, we're going to roll onto your left hand side, grab your block or your cushion. If you want to make it easier, have your arm in front. If you want to make it harder, put your arm underneath you with or without a cushion. Bring your legs out straight, so slight diagonal. Okay, so slightly forwards instead of in line with the hips. Okay, now your choice is to keep your bottom leg on the floor. Okay, lift these ribs up underneath. So if you need to, you can just bend that bottom leg. Okay, so lift and float the top and bottom leg and then put them back down. So when I do that, I'm trying to push my hip away from me rather than let it hitch up. Okay, so lift and lower. Keep out of the neck and the shoulders, find these abs. Blow. They should be just naturally kicking in as you blow out through the mouth. Now hold this one here whether your leg stays down or lifted. Pulse the top leg. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Lower both legs. Lift both legs or just the top leg. Lift the top leg and pulse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and lower. One more. Out breath in, lift and hold. So abs are holding. Pulse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now hold this top leg up bend the bottom leg, kick forwards, kick back. Now just watch these front ribs. What I'm looking for is when your leg goes back, that you're not pushing the ribs to me and swinging the whole of the body back and forth. You could do, but on this occasion, we're just trying to find some length in the hamstrings as you kick forwards and the hip flexors as you kick back. Okay, so remember your legs start right underneath your rib cage. They don't start at the top of the thigh. So this is where your hip flexors start, around about underneath the top of the ribs. Attaches to L1 down to L5. Okay, now let's kick it back and circle 6 times. 1, 2, kick those ribs up underneath you. 3, 4, 5, 6. Now reverse it. So if you wanted to make that harder, remember you can have your bottom leg straight or even the bottom leg up off the floor. So I know there's some of you a little bit more advanced. Okay, last circle round and hold it here. Flex the foot, lift it up, lower it down. So what I'm looking for is when your leg goes up, that I'm not feeling my hip is drawing up to my rib cage and back down again. I haven't got lack of control and the ribs underneath me going up and down. So keep the ribs in the same position, and then we can focus more on the right side of the glute. Okay, if you need to, put your hands underneath your ribs, waist, 2, 1, and bend the knees back down. Let's go into oyster. Feet up, knee goes up, knee goes down. We'll do about 3 with the feet like this. Now hold it, flex the feet, squeeze the heels together, lower and lift the top knee. Okay, so keep squeezing the heels together and then really push your bottom heel up into the top heel as much as the right one's going down into the left. Now hold and pulse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Hold the 10, squeeze those heels together, lower the feet, lower the knees, push. Actually, we're going to book openings. Let's put the arms in front. Let's go into this one. Just have a little stretch out and relax the neck and shoulders. So cushion underneath you. You've got your shoulders stacked. Lift your arm up, open the chest out, breathe in, bring it back in. So at the front of your chest here, I'm thinking about this right collarbone opening out wide, same as where your hip flexors start. Think about your arms starting at the middle of your chest rather than at the joint. Okay, and you just feel the more length suddenly happens in the fingertips to the breastbone. Another 2. Keeping the hips and the legs still, so we're rotating the thoracics. And that's your last one. Well done. Place your hand on the floor, push yourself up, and let's move to the other side. So we're going to start with those legs straight. And you've got your cushion either underneath you with the arm in front, or your head resting in between the arm and the cushion. So you've got your hand on the hip, push it away, lift those ribs up underneath you, and the top leg is going to come up and the bottom leg is going to come up. So just hover, hold. Okay, now continue lifting the top leg just a little way, actually just a bit too far, and now kick it up and down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, down, down, and lift and hold again. Pulse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, down, down. Last set. Up and hold. Pulse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now keep that bottom leg on the floor now. Top leg in alignment, or you can keep both legs up off the floor. If you come to my classes, you'll know what to do. Kick forwards, kick back. Now, can you feel your glutes and hamstrings as you press that leg back? Try not to compensate by pushing those front ribs. So keep the front X into your back X. And then on the way forwards, feel like you're slightly sticking your bottom out to get the length in your hamstrings. Hamstring stretch, hip flexor stretch. Remember, just from underneath those ribs is where your legs start. Ribs up underneath you, just watch you're not using the neck and the shoulders too much. Kick this one back and hold and circle. 1, 2, just watch when you let your leg go up, these ribs aren't dropping to the floor. 3, 4, 5, 6, and reverse it, forwards and back for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and hold it. So leg is back and we go up to that side lift. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We've got 8 of these to go. 6. Might be feeling a little bit of a burn right now. If it is, it's a good thing. Okay, bend those knees in, feet up. Knee goes up. So 3 with the feet like this. Ribs are lifted. I'm just starting to sink my waist a bit there. Now hold it, flex the feet, and lower and lift. So I'm pivoting on my heels. So turning the left one out, the right one stays still. 5, 6, keep squeezing those heels together. 7, lift the waist. 8, and hold, pulse for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and hold. Knees together, feet together, lower. Move the arm in front. Let's go straight into your book openings. Okay, lift the left arm, keep the legs still. Think about the front of your chest, opening across the front of your chest. Open the left collarbone. And breathe out, bring it back in. Let the head rotate as well. Open. And close. Open. And close. So we've pretty much warmed up the body now, which means we can move into a little bit more ab work. Okay, we're just going to do a quick blast of single leg stretch, double leg stretch, and we'll go into double leg lowers, or you can do single legs, and then we'll go into side to side and the corkscrew, like a modified version. Okay, so this is your last one. Open out. Excellent. Right, let's roll yourself onto your back. Gently hug the knees in, just give those bottom muscles a little bit of a stretch out, and the lower back can get slightly tight on there. So be mindful, please modify any of these exercises if you're not used to coming to my classes. Okay, so I'll show you the modified version of single leg stretch. Left leg out, left hand behind the back of the leg, right hand on the shin. Head stays down. Okay, and we switch the legs and hands over. Notice I don't touch the floor with my straight leg. I keep it hovering off the floor. I'm feeling the back of the leg working. If you come to my classes, you know what to do. You come up with your head and shoulders up off the floor. So it's like this. This time I change my hand position to the front of the shins. In breath, out breath. So every time I lengthen the leg, I'm feeling that I'm pulling my leg towards me, but also I'm pushing my leg up into my shin, up into my hands. I'm pushing the shin to the ceiling. And push. And push. Last 2. 1, 2, and bring the knees back in. Feet onto the floor, arms up to the ceiling. Drop the arms back, circle round. So this is a modified version. If you feel like you want to go up to the next level, legs raised. Okay, or legs go out, arms go back, bring it back in. But do not do this if you have any major back issues going on. You will hurt your back if your stomach muscles are not strong enough and your posture isn't in the correct position. Okay, so modify it, knees bent, or feet down. Circle back the other way. Out breath, in breath. go for the last 3, 2, last 1, and hold it here. Now drop your arms out to the side, ankles and knees together. Let's go into side to side, moving the hips to the left. Can you see I've got my feet stacked? And then my lower ribs, I'm not pushing my rib cage up, I'm just dropping those ribs back. Okay, so my shoulder stays on the floor, both your shoulders. Now roll back from your rib cage to bring you back through the waist, through the pelvis, the legs come over, and then we drop the legs to the other side, lifting the rib cage slightly, not the top ribs, but the lower ribs. Look to your left, reach the arm, roll the rib cage back, come back to center, and then go the other way. Now, if you're a bit more advanced in my classes, you can bring the legs up to 90 degrees and continue with this movement. Okay, switching from one side to the other. I know it's tempting, and you think it's going to be okay doing the higher levels, but sometimes you've got to listen to your body, which is what my mantra is, listen to your body. And actually, if you're feeling quite energized, maybe you can take that to the next level, which would be straight legs. Okay, but if you've got any injuries, any issues, you need to stay with your feet on the floor or your legs in this position. Okay, let's do one more each side. Legs to the right, legs to the left. Now, we're going to put our feet back down for a moment, gently putting them on the floor. Keep them hip width apart, so I'm going to keep my arms wide, but you don't necessarily have to. I'm going into some pelvic circles, so just watch what I do with my pelvis. I'm going to drop it to the left, circle it away from me, round to the right, and I'm moving the pelvis. What I am not doing is swaying my knees side to side. That is not a pelvic circle. So if you need to, put your hands on your thigh bones, and check that the thighs aren't moving side to side, they're just pointing forwards. And then go the other way. Okay, if you want to make it harder, legs are raised, and we go left, a half circle around without arching the back, bring it to the right, bring it over to the left. A half circle away from you, round to the right, round to the left. Remember, if that's hurting your back, you should not be doing this exercise and stay with that lower level. 2 more to the left. Legs stay together. Let's go the other way. Be mindful you're not jamming the shoulders into the floor or tensing up the neck and the shoulders. Right, around to the left, to the right, around to the left. Last 3. Checking those back ribs aren't lifting up off the floor. If they are, you're probably at the wrong level. You need to bring your feet down onto the floor. Last one. Well done. And bring those feet back to center. Lower the legs back down. And we'll just give those legs a little stretch out for a moment. Okay, just shake them out on the floor. Breathe it out. Okay, bend those knees. Now the next one, we're just going to take a slight stretch at the side of the body, and we're going to do that by kneeling up. So if you roll to your side and up to sit, and bring yourself up to kneel. Okay, so move this forwards. If you need to, you can sit on a cushion. Okay, or kneel up on a cushion. So if your knees aren't good, come into this position. Okay. Right, so you need to be quite a way away so you can see me. So hips are forwards. I've got my arms down the side of my body. So if I press my right hand and my right arm on the inside of the right side of my body, lift the left arm up. So I'm not pushing my hips out, but I'm going to slide my hand down close towards my knee, opening out the left side of my rib cage, bring the left arm back, and let's do that again. Slide it down, hips are forwards, glutes are kicking in, can't speak, and out breath. Press it long, open through the shoulders here. If you need to modify, hand in front and open this way. Okay, so one more time. Watch those hips aren't pushing out to the left. Come back to center, left arm down, right arm up or across onto the chest. And we slide it down. And you come back to center. And then to the left, just watch that right hip isn't pushing outwards. You can just tell by the knees should stay underneath each of your hip sockets. Can you see where my knees are? They don't slide out to the side. 2 more. And again. Well done. And let's come back onto your hands and knees, or lying on your back, hug your knees into your chest if your knees are an issue, or kneeling up on your cushion. Let's go back into your cat stretch and see how the spine is feeling now. So tailbone under, push the spine up to the ceiling, come back to center and do it again. Breathe in, tailbone under, lengthen the spine, reach the sit bones away, lift the chest up. Now slightly rotate your elbows and your shoulders inwards, and as you come out, elbows rotate, shoulders rotate outwards. So you rotate in with the arm bones, and then you rotate out with the arm bones. Can you see that movement in my elbows and my shoulders? And you might feel your hands slightly spiraling in and out. Last one. And then drop that back into your child's pose. So hopefully your back will feel a lot looser, maybe lower to the ground than you were at the beginning of the class. Let's slide those hands along and sit back up. And we're going to do a little bit of stretching to the body. So let's have the right leg out straight and the left leg bent. And you're going to put your left hand behind you, sitting up nice and tall for me, and then we actually got the wrong leg. Yes, I have no right leg. Okay, bring that arm around and pull it in, and then rotate and look over your left shoulder. Now pulling this knee, your left knee, up to your right shoulder, and just rotate round to the left. Okay, open this left collarbone out. Good, and then let that go. And change over, left leg out, right leg bends. Excuse me while I turn away from you. And then left arm wraps around the right leg, rotate to the right, lifting the chest up. And release it, well done. Place the soles of the feet together. And grab under your little toes if you can. Try not to just do this. Lift your chest up and forwards, lift your breastbone, shoulders down, squeeze the soles together, and then push the knees down to the floor. If you can, just press your elbows down onto the shin bones, on the inner shin bones, and press. Lift the chest. Open those inner thighs. Good, well done, and release it there. Excellent, well done. So all finished, and hopefully you felt that was beneficial, nice and stretchy. We have got obviously some more videos to send you, so obviously send me any feedback that you would like a certain class. If there's anything we haven't done, maybe using the rings, etc. We're still going to be doing that next week, I think, the ring class. Okay, well done everyone, and I shall see you all soon. Take care of yourselves.